students. Welcome to the lecture on managing consumers and brands online. And after the lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. 1. Define the multivocal and co-created nature of brand stories. 2. Explain the social media's impact on brand management. 3. Understand the influence of brands on consumer behavior. 4. Discuss the experiential brands and interpretation processes. 5. Differentiate between advertising and promotions. 6. Explain the brand and product awareness. Let's start with a brief introduction to managing consumers and brands online. One of the most important assets one can develop for business is a powerful brand. Brands are not just logos or taglines. They are the culmination of who one is, how one is different from competition, and why a buyer should do business with one. Successful, powerful branding is crucial to long-term growth and expansion as a company. Let's discuss the multivocal, co-created nature of brand stories. The conventional view of brand management is based on information processing theories of consumer behavior and understands the brand as a firm-owned and controlled asset that can be built in consumers' minds through carefully coordinated marketing activities. Consumer culture theorists, inspired by a postmodern and thus less controllable view of the marketplace, have developed an alternative perspective of branding that fundamentally questions the nature of brands and, with it, the control that firms have over their management. Social media affects brand management because consumers have become pivotal authors of brand stories. Brand orientation. The future of many companies lies in brands. By using brands as a starting point in the formulation of a company strategy, an important precondition for a new direction brand orientation is created. Internet use. In building a brand, the internet can also be a great resource for expert advice and information. There are literally hundreds of branding experts that provide free resources for business owners like one. Did you know the branding of farm animals in Egypt in 2700 BC to avoid theft may be considered the earliest form of branding as in its literal sense? Funding and governance. Local networks are groups of participants that come together to advance the global compact and its principles within a particular country or geographic region. They perform increasingly important roles in rooting the global compact within different national, cultural, and linguistic contents, and also in helping to manage the organizational consequences of rapid expansion. Let's now understand the influence of brand on consumer behavior. A brand can be defined as the relationship with the consumer. Relationships are built on experiences. The relationship with a consumer constitutes the sum of an experience with brand. loyalty generally begins with a customer's positive experience. Experience can have a tremendous impact on a customer's impression of a business. Trust. Consumers want to be able to trust the business where they have chosen to spend their money. Once that trust has been established, their brand loyalty will influence them to continue patronizing that business. Family connections. Many consumers continue to buy the same brand or shop at the same store because that is where their parents did. Spreading the word. Consumers tend to spread the word about their brand loyalty. If the customer is satisfied with the product or service enough to return to the business consistently, he or she will generally tell others about their experiences. Building brand equity. 5 steps for building strong brand equity. The following steps are essential for building a strong brand. Introduce a quality product into the marketplace. This may seem obvious, but it is extremely important to deliver a product that attracts a positive reaction from consumers. Monitoring trends and competitors. A strong brand has the ability to adapt to changes in the marketplace in order to stay relevant. Build a consistent brand image. It is important to reinforce the brand by providing a consistent, positive experience in the minds of consumers. Consistency of brand messaging. When creating brand messaging, ensure that it is easy to remember and it reminds consumers about the qualities that they care most about. Capture customer feedback. Since the real power of a brand exists in the mind of consumers, it is necessary for marketers to always capture and analyze customer feedback. Measuring brand equity. Clarify brand equity. Perspective. Brand equity can be viewed from several different perspectives. Determine brand equity research goals. Brand equity market research falls into one of these 3 camps: tracking, exploring change, and/or extending brand power. Understand customer brand attitude. A customer-based perspective in the measurement of brand equity focuses on the experiences that consumers have with the brand. Identify brand equity components to measure. Brand awareness, brand reach, and brand image association are aspects of brand equity that may not be closely associated with consumer experience. Measure perceived brand differentiation. Product differentiation is a lynching for brand loyalty, confidence in a brand, and the potential for brand switching. Qualitative and quantitative approaches to brand equity data. Ideally, brand equity measurement will include both qualitative and quantitative approaches. Focus groups can provide a good forum for exploring customer perceptions and motivation. Managing brand equity over time. Marketers must actively manage brand equity over time by reinforcing the brand meaning and, if necessary, by making adjustments to the marketing program to identify new sources of brand equity. Managing a brand portfolio. Portfolio management is concerned with enhancing the performance of all the brands and product lines offered by a company. Initiatives include changing brand and product line priorities, adding new product lines or brands, and deleting product lines or brands.
Managing a portfolio is only easy if you take the time to set up the plan for your portfolio in the first place. There are 3 basic steps to creating a plan for your portfolio. The first step is to make the plan personal by understanding your personal needs, risk tolerance, time horizon, and other financial objectives. The second step is to develop an asset mix using the science of modern portfolio theory and asset allocation. The third step is then to pick the appropriate investments that fit into the mix using good investment research. Once you have your plan set up, the next step is to monitor it and manage it. You can't just set up a plan and leave it and never look at it again. There are 4 different ways to manage your portfolio. The first strategy to manage your portfolio is probably the most common one. I call it the wing it strategy. There really is no strategy, or if there is, it's not consistent and it changes all the time. The second strategy is trying to time the markets. Personally, I think this is the worst strategy because it's impossible to be able to predict the future with any degree of accuracy or consistency. Some people make calls on the future, and sometimes they're right, but generally, this is more luck than skill. The third investment strategy is the common strategy preached by the investment industry, called buy and hold. As much as I get and understand buy and hold, remember that buy and hold ignores one of the key components of making money. To truly make money, you have to buy low, sell high. And buy and hold ignores the sell side of the equation, and for that reason, it may not be a perfect strategy. The last strategy is, in my opinion, the best strategy: rebalancing the portfolio. The reason I like rebalancing is it forces you to buy low, sell high, and put it into practice. And thus, it is the best way to manage a portfolio. Let's look at an example of rebalancing. Let's say you have a $100,000 portfolio that has 5 investments. First, you got 10% invested in apples, 15% invested in oranges, 40% in strawberries, 20% in pineapples, and 15% in grapes. Let's just say after the first year, the portfolio grows to $105,000. That's a 5% return. If the portfolio is diversified properly, not all of the investments will grow at a 5% rate. Instead, you'll see that some investments will grow faster, some will grow slower, and some might even lose money. Apples and oranges have been your best investment, while pineapples, well, they haven't done so well. They've been your worst. What does your gut tell you to do? If you think about it, most people would keep their winners and sell their losers. After all, who'd ever want losers in a portfolio? The problem with this strategy, as much as it may make intuitive sense, is that you're employing buy high, sell low, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Instead, rebalancing suggests that you should simply rebalance the portfolio to the original mix of 10% apples, 15% oranges, 40% strawberries, 20% pineapples, and 15% grapes. In doing so, what you'd actually do is take the profits from the apples and oranges to buy more pineapples, which in fact is buy low, sell high. It's so simple, just not easy to do. Why? Because psychology is so powerful. Even if you're a do-it-yourself investor, you don't have to get more sophisticated than rebalancing the portfolio once a year. And in doing so, you will employ a strategy to manage your portfolio and practice the one key to making money: buy low, sell high.
Determining roles of brands. A brand portfolio perspective encourages the use of brands to support the entire portfolio as well as the support of each brand. Strategies for brand strength. Strategies for building brand strength and sustaining that strength for the brand portfolio require attention to the implementation of brand identification, revitalizing brands in the later stages of their life cycles, and recognizing the strategic vulnerabilities of core brands. Adding a new line. The motivation for adding a new product line may be to increase the growth rate of the business, offer a more complete range of products to wholesalers and retailers, gain marketing strength and economies in distribution, advertising, and personal selling. Leverage an existing brand position. Brand building strategies. The essence of strategies for brand strength is that management should actively build, maintain, and manage the four assets that underlie brand equity: awareness, perceived quality, brand loyalty, and brand association. Fighter brands. In the harsh market conditions faced by some branded goods in post-recession conditions, one option is the launch of a fighter brand aimed to combat low-price competitors while protecting the company's premium-priced offerings. Strategies for brand extensions. Brand extension strategies are frequently undertaken by the companies when they launch any new product. The companies try to reap benefit out of their established brand name and brand equity. Brand experience is conceptualized as sensations, feelings, cognitions, and behavioral responses evoked by brand-related stimuli that are part of a brand's design and identity, packaging, communications, and environments. Conceptualizing brand experience. One can experience a conceptualized brand as subjective, internal consumer responses, sensations, feelings, and cognitions, as well as behavioral responses evoked by brand-related stimuli that are part of a brand's design and identity, packaging, communications, and environments. Further explication of the brand experience construct. Brand experiences vary in strength or intensity. That is, some brand experiences are stronger or more intense than others, like product experiences. Brand experiences also vary in valence. Differences between brand experience and other brand constructs. Brand experience is in part related but also conceptually distinct from other brand constructs. Brand experience differs in particular from evaluative, affective, and associative constructs. Let's discuss about advertising versus promotion. Advertising is a one-way communication whose purpose is to inform potential customers about products and services and how to obtain them. Promotion involves disseminating information about a product line, brand, or company. Differences in time frame. Promotions are time-specific and may be short-term, while advertising may be generally long-term. Types of promotion and advertising. Promotion is generally divided into two parts. Above-the-line promotion. Promotion in the media. Below-the-line promotion. All other promotion. Much of this is intended to be subtle enough that the consumer is unaware that the promotion is taking place. Advertising can be of the following types. Media. Commercial advertising media can include wall paintings, billboards, street furniture components, printed flyers, and rack cards. Radio, cinema and television ads, web banners, mobile television screens, etc. Convert advertising. Convert advertising is when a product or brand is embedded in entertainment and media. Television commercials. Virtual advertisements may be inserted into regular television programming through computer graphics. Internet advertising. This is the newest form of advertising wherein web space is used and email advertising is used. Relationship of sales with advertising and promotions. Typically, promotions are directly linked with sales, while advertising is an assumption that it may lead to sales. Cost of advertising versus promotion. Promotions are directly linked to sales, and hence, for small companies, it may be easier to use promotional methods. Advertising may be more expensive for small companies, and it may not be feasible for them, while in advertising, it is being assumed that adverts will lead to sales. Advertising mediums. Television. Television advertising is the leading medium for reaching audiences. Print ads. Advertising in newspapers and magazines is another way of reaching customers with a company's message. Radio. When using radio advertisements in a marketing mix, it is necessary to make sure that the company and product or service is clearly identified. Internet. The Internet has become an important electronic medium, and its interactive quality is unique. Direct mail. Direct mail campaigns can be expensive due to printing and postage costs, but these campaigns can be effective if the mailings reach the right consumers. Advertising trends. A very popular way of getting a message across is using celebrity endorsements. Advertising companies are willing to pay top dollar in order to hire celebrities to represent their brands. Sales promotion. Sales promotion consists of many activities used to sell products. They are activities that give consumers a short-term incentive to make a purchase. Sales promotions are also activities that change the price and value relationship of a product. Consumer promotions. Consumer promotions are geared toward getting consumers to try a company's products. Some examples of consumer promotion activities include coupons, rebates, sampling, sweepstakes, point of purchase displays, and special bags. Trade promotions. Trade promotions are geared toward marketing intermediaries as opposed to consumers. These types of promotions are most successful when they offer financial incentives and serve to effectively reduce the cost of the product. Brand awareness is a very important aspect for a brand or product in the market. Brand building and awareness. Traditionally, With any form of brand building, the target audience needs to be aware of the product or service, after which they form their opinions about the product or service, after which they either use the product or they stop using it. Brand differentiation. Brand awareness is a very important force. It helps consumers to make the buying decision. People are generally loyal to a brand. This is the last stage after brand awareness. Individuals associate certain products with a brand. This helps in building the brand's unique identity. Customer loyalty. When consumers become committed to brand and make repeat purchases over time, brand loyalty is a result of consumer behavior and is affected by a person's preferences. Managing price perceptions. Customer perceptions are influenced by a variety of factors. Besides the actual outcome, example, did the product or service deliver the expected function and did it fulfill the customer's need? The whole process of consumption and all interactions involved are of crucial importance. Positive effects of increasing market share on customer perception. Increasing market share can send out positive signals by acting as an indicator of superior quality that is recognized by more and more other customers. Many brands offer positive emotional benefits of using a product that is popular in the markets. The value of a product or service can rise through increasing number of users of the same product. Negative effects of increasing market share on consumer perception. For premium and luxury products, customers may translate an increasing market share into a loss of exclusivity and thus perceive it as less valuable. The quality of services may suffer if they are consumed by increasing numbers of users. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. A brand instills confidence, creates loyalty, and many times can command a premium price. But, most of all, a great brand reduces a buyer's perception of risk and makes the purchase choice easy. The conventional view of brand management is based on information processing, theories of consumer behavior, and understands the brand as a firm-owned and controlled asset that can be built in consumers' minds through carefully coordinated marketing activities. Players in the broader cultural production system, such as writers, artists, movie makers, designers, and, of course, the mass media, also ascribe meanings to brands by literally using them as resources in the stories they produce. Social media has become much more than just a way to chat with friends and relatives. It has also become a platform for consumers to express what they like and the things they view. In building a brand, the internet can also be a great resource for expert advice and information.